All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Jermel Iron Man Charlo making some real hardcore comments about Terence Crawford and his potential move to 154, and pretty much daring Terence Crawford to come up to 154 and fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're in the 154-pound division where Jermell Iron Man Charlo reigns over the division. And for some reason, he went into a tangent on Terence Crawford today on Twitter. Had about 4 or 5 tweets out there, pretty much daring Terence Crawford to come to 154 pounds, saying some real crazy, not crazy things, man, but just saying, look, man, he ain't buying Terence Crawford. Now, before I get into the detail of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we pretty much do on a daily basis in the video format and in the live stream format. If you are a longtime subscriber, supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support of the channel. And definitely thank you to longtime subscribers like my guy Greg Wyatt. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel in the super chat and in the super thanks that we have going on. Thank y'all so much for your continued support. But let's get into this, man. Let's make this fight, man. Okay, obviously people are continuing to talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fighting for the 147-pound undisputed championship. However, as the days and days go on, we are now at September 29th. Who does not look like that fight is going to take place this year. It may, but it's every day that it goes on, it sounds more and more like it may not happen. So Terence Crawford had already said what he wants to do if he is not able to get a fight with Errol Spence Jr., which is to go up to 154 pounds and fight Jermel Charlo for an undisputed title there. As you know, Jermel Charlo just this year beat Brian Castano to win, to unify his WBA, WBC, and IBF belts, and to consolidate the last belt that was out there, the WBO belt. I do believe he has a fight coming up either January or February against a mandatory Tim Tszyu. However, Terence Crawford said that's the dude he wants to go up there and fight. So out of the blue, and I don't think it unconnected to what Terence Crawford has said, Jermel Charlo comes out with the following tweets. He said, Lubin will KO Terence Crawford, move up to 154. We'll see. Then he goes on to ask the question, who is he knocked out, right? And I'm not sure who he's replying. Sounds like he's responding to somebody, and maybe he thinks he's on Instagram and he's doing it on Twitter. But then after that, he says, he answers the question, I'm in Europe trying to get this bag. And then Charles said, I KO'd better opponents than he's ever done. Let's compare. Who did dude knock out, right? So let's take these one at a time. First of all, to say that Terence Crawford would get beat by Erickson Lubin at 154 pounds is like, man, that's disrespectful. All right. Now, Erickson Lubin, if you're not familiar with who he is, he's an excellent fighter. A southpaw out of Florida, has 2 losses on his resume, one to Jermel Charlo by knockout, and another fighting a guy that, honestly, man, shouldn't nobody in 154 have to fight a guy that's 6'6" in Sebastian Fundora, but put on an excellent fight, really rough, tough fight was Sebastian Fundora, but got his eyes closed, right? So with Erickson Lubin being a southpaw and Terence Crawford coming all the way up from 135 to 154 pounds, man, it would be an interesting matchup. And if Erickson Lubin had not just lost his fight against Sebastian Fundora, I might say, hey, man, you know, that, who knows? That could be a good fight. Now, I'm not going to say, however, that I think Erickson Lubin is going to knock out Terence Crawford, but I will say I think it's a good fight. But honestly, man, I don't see that taking place. Terence Crawford is, Terence Crawford is a number one, at the very, very least, the number two. But in my book, the number one pound for pound fighter, I think that Jermel saying that is been a little bit disrespectful. However, I will say that the thing that he does, that Jermel says that makes sense is, who did Terence Crawford beat that I wouldn't beat? Right now, what he said was, who did he knock out that I wouldn't knock out? And the answer to that is absolutely nobody. Right? Absolutely nobody that Terence Crawford has beat and knocked out that Jermel Charlo would not run through like wet toilet paper. No joke about it. And I mean to the last person. From the guys he fought at 135, honestly, I mean, obviously, the guys he fought at 140, obviously, the guys he knocked, Jeff Horn, obviously, Jose Benavidez, definitely, obviously, Sean Porter, at that stage of his career, most definitely, Amir Khan, without a doubt. Who's the other guy? Egis Kalvanakis, no doubt. Same thing with Kell Brook, no doubt. I mean, it's very, 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 very true what he is saying. However, I will say this. I want to see a fight between the two of those guys. Now, again, if Terence Crawford is not going to fight Errol Spence Jr., and they're not going to do it this year, I've said this very loud in every video that I've done about this. I want to see those guys fight somebody. Now, Jermel Charlo most definitely is not a fight that is available for Terence Crawford next, unfortunately. Again, because that WBO mandatory with Tim Tszyu is on him for February. Now, maybe Terence Crawford wants to take an extended amount of time off. He did just turn 35. I do believe he turned 35 this week. So maybe, he wants to take a little bit more, of an extended amount of time, give his body time to, to get up there to 154 pounds, if that's what he's going to do to fight Jermel Charlo, maybe the second fight in. But, I'll take the fight, man. Now, for me, though, I'm just going to be honest. I think Terence Crawford is biting off more than he can chew. He very well may be biting off more than he can chew with Jermel Charlo. Jermel Charlo is not a welterweight. Jermel Charlo is a guy that could probably be, right now, is probably one of the best middleweights that there are, and definitely size matters size matters in boxing. And Terence Crawford in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. is at a bit of a size advantage, maybe not a Reese advantage, but a natural size disadvantage with Errol. And if you've ever seen Errol and Jermel Charlo stand next to each other, you know how much bigger Jermel Charlo is than Errol Spence Jr. Jermel Charlo, if he's face to face with Terence Crawford, if Jermel's faced with Terence, he's going to be he's going to look at him like this. Just like literally have to tuck his chin down and look that way to get in the ring with him. But all in all, very interesting conversation. Always love listening to what Jermel Charlo talks about, because I think he's not only is he one of the best fighters in boxing, he's definitely one of the most fun people to listen to when he starts going off. But anyway, you give me your thoughts on the matter, and with that, I'm out. Deuce.